Today is the final day of Black History Month, and we are continuing our celebration of some local community legends.
I had the privilege of sitting down and sharing a cup of coffee with Dr. Preston L. Williams, Jr., the first Black superintendent of schools in Urbana. He worked his way up through the system where he started as a coach and a teacher and opened the doors of opportunity to many others in the Black community. Let's take a look.
Well, that's it. 2007.
Okay.
That's when I became superintendent, July of 2007.
Boy, it's wild that it was that late for a African American to get that position.
Well, there's still a lot of
2007.
firsts happening, Ryan.
That's wild.
Believe me, if you think about it, if you think about it, how many Black mayors have you had in Champaign, Urbana?
I don't know.
The answer is 0.
Really? On both sides.
Both sides.
Wow.
You're in East Central Illinois. I mean, believe me, my wife and I made a conscious decision to stay here.
You were the first African American superintendent in Urbana, in the school system in Urbana.
Right.
That was in 2007 that you got that position. What was that like for you personally?
Personally, Ryan, as I look back on that, I remember kind of overwhelming responsibility and accountability, not only to the community, but especially the Black community. Because anytime you're the first at anything, at least my generation, we feel that we've got to go above and beyond. You just can't do the job. You have to try to do the job not only the best you can, but exceptionally if you can. Now, whether or not I made that mark or not, or hit that mark, I'm not sure, but the responsibility was there, and that's what I look back on.
One of the things that people celebrate about your legacy as superintendent was that you provided a lot of opportunities that didn't exist for the African American community.
I think for me, the Black community, the Black culture is important not only to Black children, but to all children, as far as understanding that we all make up this thing called the United States of America. And the importance is that each and every child have that opportunity to at least get an understanding and possibly to celebrate each other, whether that's Latina, whether that's Black, whether that's white, whether that's Asian, what makes us us. And so from my perspective, having grew up in Black culture, I celebrate it. And I felt that what we tried to do was do the same thing. And we also wanted to make sure that we brought in African American or Black teachers, administrators, teacher assistants, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, to make sure that they understood that America is a mosaic. And we have to make sure that we're doing what's right as far as that's concerned, showing our kids that that's what America is about.
What was your most rewarding experience as superintendent?
Wow, that's a great question. I think my most rewarding experience was watching students, children, cross that stage at State Farm Center now, Assembly Hall then. And many of those children were told that they wouldn't be able to do that by whomever. I'm not calling out names or anything like that, but watching the sense of accomplishment on their face as well as their parents' faces, and then watching them go into this thing called society and be very successful in whatever area they may have deemed that they wanted to do, whether that was going on to a college or a university, whether that was starting a business, whether it was going to a trade school, and seeing what they were able to accomplish when at one point they never thought they could. I mean, that's my greatest sense of accomplishment, that I played a small part in that.
What are some of the challenges that we face today when it comes to opportunities? It sounds like encouragement for students, ultimately creating roads to success in the education system.
I think some of the challenges that still exist are a number of the ones that I alluded to a little bit earlier. We still have poverty within our community, and that's magnified within our public school system. And I think that's important to understand and quantify as an educator. We still have a lot of violence in the community itself, and that is also magnified within our school system. Unfortunately, there are still elements of racism that exist, elitism that exists, and we have to acknowledge that, but give our kids the tools to overcome that, to be able to fight the good fight, so to speak, to understand that even though those are barriers, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't overcome those barriers. And be there and be supportive, set high expectations, and give them the tools necessary in order for them to be successful in whatever way success is measured.
In 2015, Prairie Elementary School was renamed Dr. Preston L. Williams Jr. Elementary School in honor of the first black superintendent here in Urbana. I had a much longer conversation with Dr. Williams where we got deeper into his own life, and he shared some of his perspective on how students can find success. Dr. Williams is truly a living legend in the community.
Yes, and the conversation, well worth the watch. We'll be posting the full extended interview with Ryan and Dr. Williams over on our website, ciLiving.tv, after today's show.